We are back again. Today we're going to be painting the Spartan Brawler. So I have moved my camera again. Learning experience is part of all this. This guy's green, so this should be a fun one. But he's also got a shotgun. So we'll get started. But first I wanted to show you what we've done so far. How they've come across, how they've come out. So we're getting there. And then from our last video, still drying. I varnished them off camera, waiting for the varnish to dry. Our elite came out pretty good. Let's see if we get focus. There we go. Yeah. Let's clean up our old brush here. Just the varnish brush. Let's get that out of the paint jar. Back over here to dry. Okay. So that green that we're looking at is... Oops. Yeah, it's great. Knocked him down, huh? Let's put him out of the way. That green... It's like a camouflage green. That's what the yellow is from the highlight. Let's see what we can do for this green, because I have not pre-selected colors here. I do have kind of like an army ochre. These are more browns, more tan. So we're going through here. Let's take a look. Do I have any? It's like teals. There's just like a Everfog green. There's desaturated cool green. This is kind of like a... No, it's just a little more yellow, brown. Like a brown green. So maybe those ochre tans might not be. See, so we do have camouflage green and woodland camo. Those might be more in line. The camouflage green does look pretty close. I'm gonna go with this woodland camo. I think this is our pick. Technically it's an olive green for their natural color, and then this is our visor color, so we'll just keep that out here. But yeah, okay, I'm gonna put this up here off camera just like I normally do, and grab our brush. What do we got? I'm looking for... We used the number 1 last time. Is this our number 1? Yeah, this is our number 1. Yeah, so you can kind of see the brand Fumoi. I don't know. I'm not sure how you say that. I got them on Amazon. But they're a natural hair, sable hairbrush. So we get our brush wet. We'll get this guy shake up. It's a little thicker. Okay, so shake up. Let's get our turn that pound. There's a little bit of extra gunk on there. Let's get that off. Alright, just some dry paint, that's fine. I haven't used these colors yet, so they're fresh out of the box. And then our eyedropper, there's a little bit of water left, so we'll keep that. Alright, let's get started. So, just like last time, I'll try to talk to you guys over this whole process, and again, we'll just reiterate some of the things we've already said, which is we're not going to be too picky with, or too careful with putting this paint on here. We are Let me show you, actually. I haven't shown you guys this yet, so a couple things out of the way. So, on my wet palette, I have our color here, and then I have a little bit of water, and that's getting kind of close because I moved it. It was over here. But you just touch a little bit on the brush, and then you can pull it out. That's about what we want. You want it to pull back a little bit, but not too much. And then if you get too much water on there, that's what this paper towel I have down here is for. I'm carefully putting it back so I don't get that bunch of water. But yeah, so you can just touch it to the paper towel. We're good here with this. And then yeah, we'll just paint our guy up here. This is pretty good coverage on the screen, so I'm enjoying it. Again, every time we go back, I just touch that puddle of water just a little bit, keep our paint just a little bit thin. And what that does, you won't see the brush strokes. The paint will like level off on its own. And it helps the paint flow off of the bristles and onto the mini. And again, too much water, you can always pull some off. Too much water and it's just too thin. It's just gonna pool up in places and it's gonna run all over the place. So you gotta try to find that nice middle ground, which is pretty easy. Which I just, you can use the paints without watering them down. Like the Vallejos are pretty good about that, but I would still recommend just the smallest touch. And what that's gonna do is just try to help keep things consistent. As nice as these specialty paints are, they're not perfect. I don't know if there's a brand that is perfect. I assume they could make it perfect, but it would probably cost you $10 for one of these little guys. These are about $4 or $5, so they're not cheap, but they're reasonable. They're affordable. Let's get back in frame. Oops. Yeah, see, we're not too worried about that. We'll come back over with the black. We're just covering up the rest of our blue here. Especially on this guy, given he's such a stark difference in color, having this blue come through would be pretty noticeable. So, going over the edges a little bit ain't the worst, because again, at best we're covering this blue. At worst, we just got to touch it up with our black. So, let's see. I moved my camera so my light is in a weird spot. Make sure I'm still in frame. Yeah, we're good here. Yeah, the light is, since the camera's more, so if the camera's more above the model, the light can't be right above the model, so I'd have to be up here for the light to really be on it. Well, we're still working on our setup, but I think that's enough to see, and it's enough for me to see in person. I might adjust some more, but we'll see. And every time learn something every time we do one of these videos. So the last video I learned that I need the camera probably more up so I can stay in frame and stay in focus. I noticed editing that the camera really wanted to focus on my hand, and I'm not paying attention to the camera 100% of the time. Obviously I'm painting, so sorry about that. I'm trying to find the right angle to keep my hand in the mini where the mini stays in focus. There's probably some way to, I'm using my phone, probably some way to turn off autofocus or something, or set a constant focal length, but yeah, we'll work around it for now. But yeah, so that again, we're just covering up our blue here, and coming in. While we're down here, we can notice, if we need to put some green over a place where we did our base coat, we can. But again, we are definitely going to come back over with the black for touch-up, so not too worried about where the green lands. But the cleaner we are, the less touch-up we'll have to do, so making an effort, but not too strong of one. I'm really happy about this green. Coverage is really nice. It's going on pretty good. So I got too much water here. It looks good on the mini. It looks very Master Chief colored, which I always enjoy on I haven't got to paint one of these in kind of a Master Chief color. I think they have a Master Chief mini as a promo. I'll have to look. I wouldn't mind trying to do, taking my time on that one and doing like a real hero unit, leader unit type of paint job. Really getting all the details as correct as we can on that one. Plus there's a lot of reference, so I wouldn't be guessing as much as I am on these guys about what color is what. You see kind of how it's pooling right there. A little too much water on the brush. You can just pull it off. I'm not too worried about it. Like I said, we're going to touch it up with black anyway, but see, how's the lighting? Yeah, you can kind of see the lighting is, the shadows are a little bit deeper in this video because of where the light sits. I'll have to figure out a way to film around the camera. I don't know, maybe a second light. The second light source might do it. We'll experiment with it. But for now, look at this guy painted up. That's what I mean. When I painted all these minis off camera, definitely not trying to worry too much about that. It was nice to just turn my brain off. But yeah, I like painting on video too. We had an opportunity to talk about the process and check myself. This big old armor plate here. But see, these videos I think they're coming out now. So if you guys any ideas, comments, it's good to hear feedback, and not necessarily doing this for anyone but myself, but it's nice to know that some people are getting enjoyment out of it. Definitely some motivation. Leave a comment, let us know. And again, check out our podcast. We're recording episodes again. Should be getting a few of those out pretty soon too. Or maybe out by the time this video comes out. We did take a little bit of break around the holidays and early this year. It's some life getting in the way, but I think we're getting back into the flow of things, and then hopefully some Magic the Gathering content or some tabletop content coming as well. That'll be black on the inside there. Yeah. So then the only video that won't just be these painting videos where I get to ramble on. Also, I need to get some music to go underneath. Just elevator music, background music. Speaking of music too, I do have a music project called Dead Code. Check that out. I should have a new song coming out. Probably won't be out by the time this one comes out, but it should be out within a few weeks. It'll definitely be out before this summer. Well, I guess it's May, so it'll be out before July is my hope. Not that we're on a time limit. The only one that's being held accountable is me to myself. So. Yeah, so check out Dead Code. Oh, I didn't even look at his helmet. Yeah, again, we'll cover up those blue. Helmet is got some black, but we'll make sure we get our green coverage to get rid of this blue. That's the goal here. Ooh, way too much water on that one for sure. I accidentally dipped my whole brush in there. But yeah, let's just cover up this blue. Anywhere we see blue, we'll just slap some green on there. We'll come back with the black and clean it up. There, back here, this is back here, back in here. Definitely see a lot of that blue along the edge here. I missed. Again, we'll come back over with the black and clean things up. But let's cover up this blue wherever we see it. Just gonna cover it up. That way, even if we miss it with the touch up on the black, the blue will not be shining through. Definitely gonna need to touch up with the black around this armor pieces here though. But I know this was the right color for sure. I really like it. Get around here, under here, under here. So we're gonna be careful around the gun. And then you know what? Once I get this base color in here, I'm gonna mess with this light. We'll see if we can make it a little bit better. One thing I'm noticing is these shadows are pretty dark when I'm trying to get underneath stuff. So we'll see what we can do about that. Some blue down in here. Oops, some blue right here. Well, yeah, really dark shadows here. It's hard to see. Yeah, definitely gonna need to adjust that light. Why have a nice hobby light if it can't use it? Some blue down here. That's gonna be touched up black. Blue over here. Do a second coat on these legs. Just they've dried enough. Kind of see that blue coming through. All right, that looks pretty good for now. I'm gonna wash the brush. I'm gonna mess with this light. Give that a chance to dry. And let's see what we can do with this light. So if I'm holding them here, okay. Oh, you can kind of see. There we go. We'll see. I turn the light sideways, so she's coming from this way now. We'll see if that helped. Ooh, that is in the way. See, it's not. Okay, cool. Okay, back to it. Yeah, much better. A lot of. You can see a lot of places where I missed. So. How's that look on the camera? Looking all right. But no, definitely this light is in a much better place. Seeing a lot of areas I missed under here, under the helmet, all these recesses where it was real dark before. Can definitely see them now. And that's, again, it's using your tools appropriately. It's like any hobby, any job. Just knowing how to use your tools will help. So. Let's get I am hitting my brush on that light every time I go to my palette, but I'll deal with that. I'd rather do that than not have the light. Glove, boot, leg, glove here. Blue down here in the chest piece. Belt, cod piece. He doesn't have any highlights really, much like the Elite we just did. Kind of just one and done on these colors, which makes it real easy. I'm I'm not gonna complain. Or I shouldn't say highlights, accent colors. Black is the accent color on this guy, so we'll knock him out real quick. Never a bad thing when we're doing these bulk paint jobs, so missed some. Alright, where are we looking? Some blue. Anywhere we see blue, just armor piece here. Underneath here. Yeah. Here's a spot. I see some music would be great right now. I might find some. There might be. If there's music playing, that means I found music. So I'll make an effort. But I have an acquaintance that made some royalty-free music for streamers to use. Maybe I'll reach out. Another music friend. We'll see. Yeah, I'm just gonna get in these recesses, cover up any of these where there's blue shining through. Alright, that looks good. So let's clean up our brush. And then let's get this black, and we're gonna do a touch-up. Shake this up. I'm just gonna do just a little bit, just a dot or two on the palette over here, because mostly done on the black. This will be a real quick paint too. Like I said, we'll do the green visor, but yeah, let's I should have grabbed a smaller brush, but that's okay. We will take our time, and this is so you can get pretty good detail even with a big brush. It really depends on how the tip of that brush, how sharp that is. So you'll see. Just take your time. Stabilize yourself. It's what my pinky's here for, to stabilize everything. And then you can get pretty detailed with a big brush. You just gotta have some patience and make sure that you're not oversaturating your brush. So that's the paint's only on the tip there. And we have a lot of control over where that paint goes, because even if I bump something with the bristles, when I'm down here working in these tight spaces, it's not going to get paint everywhere. But yeah, we can definitely see with this light now, we can see where a lot better where we missed. Go. How's that boot looking? Definitely need to clean this up a little bit here. Well, for example, I did not put any water in this black because I did want it kind of thick, because I want to have a lot of control over where it goes. And then thankfully the black paint is consistent enough that I don't have to worry about watering it down. The consistency, see, I messed that up a little. The consistency is pretty good. That's fine. I gotta redo this boot. You can see some blue coming through there. So that looks good there. But I am gonna actually, now that I said that, I'm gonna grab a little bit of water, because it's drying out on the tip of my brush here. And that's the other thing. Having some water, it won't dry on the brush tip as quickly. You have more working time. That looks good there. That needs to be redone in green. Touch up his arm here. See, where's this? Okay, this whole thing right here needs to be blacked out again. Okay, so back here, back here. Yeah, see, we're making some progress here. This knife, let's do this knife black. It's black on the reference. It is, yeah. So a lot of these minis, like this is the same model, just with a different gun as our original brawler, I believe. And we'll look. I'll compare them here. Because now that I say that, I think that's an incorrect statement. But we'll confirm. But I say that because this knife and the chest piece are definitely the same. Or I've done this chest piece before. Maybe it wasn't on the brawler. It might have been on a different mini. But it's familiar. But we are getting faster at this, I will say. The first one, I think I edited that video. It was about 2 hours of painting. It was the first one I painted, so I was still getting used to the armor segment and where things are and aren't. Okay, how's this gun? Clean up this gun a little bit. But now that I kind of can see the similarities between the Spartans, getting a lot quicker on pulling out the lines for the armor and things like that. So if we look at this, the helmet, the front here is black. So with like ears being black on the inside, and the respirator also black. And then these shells are black on the chest. We'll try to do those too. So let's start with the shells. Like I said, you don't necessarily need to use a small brush to get details. It's nice and it helps, but the big brush with a nice tip. And this being a new brush, because this is the only thing, this second time I've used it maybe. And then we'll clean up this gun a little bit here too. But yeah, see with that, just a nice sharp tip. Even with this big old brush, it's a 1, not that big, but even with this big brush, we were able to get in there and do those shells. Alright, helmet. Helmet is ears and this front piece here. So there. Does it go all the way across? Yes, it does. Oh, it goes up the middle too. Okay. So it's going to go this way. Try to stay on the lines up here. I can always touch that up. This visor here is also black. Okay. Alright, concentration, so not speaking too much, but yeah, alright. We're getting there, There's that, a little bit here. A little bit there. Yeah, I'll touch that up. Is that? Yeah, okay, cool. That is also black. Looking at the helmet, so we don't see the back. Do we want to make a bet that that visor is black the whole ring around? Let's do it. Light. I'm hitting the light with my brush. Okay. And then around the ear here. How's that looking? How's that looking? Looking good. We're looking good. And then we're going back on this side. So we're going to touch this up a little with the green, but the more controlled we are, the less we have to touch up. So that looks good there. And then this respirator is black as well. The whole thing. Sorry, back to concentrating. Yeah, so again, not a whole lot of accent colors other than black on this guy, so this should be a really quick paint job. Getting there. Try to move so you can still see this guy. Yeah, we'll touch that up with the green when we come back. Okay. Okay, what do we got? Let's do our green visor, and then we'll do our green touch-ups. So our visors have all been guarding green when the visor's there. On the Elite, we didn't have a visor. So, do that. And we're just going to do the smallest drop because that is a very tiny, tiny visor. And I am going to grab a smaller brush for the visor. 000, 00, what is this one? 00. Okay. Now this brush, see this one, the bristles were a little, I need to trim them. That's, I don't know, I haven't bought too many expensive brushes. This is the only second set of expensive brushes. They're $10. And the natural hair brushes I do like more than the synthetic hair brushes, and they have lasted longer, but they are a little bit more, like say, there's one little bristle here that I just can't get. Say you can use shampoo on them. I haven't tried that yet, but anyway, all right. So some people say get cheap synthetic brushes because the tips are nicer, but they don't last as long. So I mean, you can do it. You can get a good performance out of them. You're just buying them more often. Which I guess, you know, if you're a professional painter, or if you have a sponsorship, or what's it called? It's a sponsorship endorsement. That's the word I'm looking for. If you have an endorsement, you're probably getting your brushes for free anyway. But anyway, the natural hair brushes do last longer, but they, yeah, if I spent more than $10 on them, I could get maybe nicer in the package. But yeah. Looking at the visor there, it's a little, just a small visor. So that where I just painted is actually supposed to be black, but we'll come back and touch it up. So we always have that option. So, and really that's it. We'll do a final touch up of the black and the green again. Looks like we need just a little bit more down here. Let's do the black real quick. This 00. Just to get this, like the bridge of the nose right here. Okay, let's touch up with the green. Another touch up with the green. Oh, way too much paint on that brush, but whatever. It's a little brush, we'll be alright. We're just gonna do a little quick touch up here. Touch here. These legs definitely need it. Yeah, and these real big panels just needed a second coat. Keep hitting the light with the brush. See, looking good a little bit here. This definitely needed it. Oof. Looks like I missed this whole thing. All right, how are we looking here? How are we looking here? A little bit of blue right here, I saw. Oh, definitely need to touch of black right here. I see I messed that up. Other than that, let's look at the face mask here. Here. Up top here, definitely clean this line up. There we go. Oh, I have to do the weapon as well. That one's really, the human weapons are just gunmetal. Alright, so some black touch up here on the back of the leg. And then a gunmetal for the shotgun. And we'll be good to go. Okay. Here we need to touch up. That looks good. Looks good. I'm happy with it. Let's get that gun done. This is a very fast paint. No accent colors or anything. We might do another one tonight. Where's my gunmetal? Black cap. Do I have my black cap out? So you should put your paints away. There it is. Put your paints away and we're done. You can find them. Alright, we got our gunmetal. Shake this up. Just a small drop again because not a very big gun. We'll go back to our number one for the gunmetal and some fresh water. We were using the same green water for black because black isn't going to be really change colors from that. But this color, we definitely don't want to use our green water. Otherwise, we use like green gunmetal. Probably not. It'd probably look cool, like as an effect, but not what I'm going for on here. Sorry, it's concentrating. Alright. We're getting in there. Getting this front of this handle here. Oh, now I have to touch up his glove. I got that little bit on the glove there. That's okay. So let's see. I'll come in and hit that up with black, so I'm gonna be a little sloppy on the inside here, and we'll just clean it up. Okay. Okay. We got all that, and then now let's do a black touch-up. Once this dries, we'll have to wait a minute, because if we start doing black, it'll just mix with the silver, which looks cool, but not what we're going for. So let that dry a little bit. Actually, while we're waiting on that, let's grab our big brush here. We can do our black on the base, and that is with our Reaper colors. We've been doing all of our bases with just trying to. I've had this one the longest, so I'm trying to burn through this black as effectively as I can. I will say these cheap brushes. This is golden maple. These are synthetic plastic bristles. The grip is nice, more like a pencil. Again, we just make sure we're not hopping up and grabbing that green with this, and then make sure we're thinning it out. So we are going to get our texture on this base. If I added a lot of water, maybe we could avoid it, but it's just a base. I might come back and texture these with some basing materials anyway, so it's more a preliminary paint job than anything. Alright, base done. Easy. Clean the brush. Looks good. We're gonna do touch up black around on the hands. Touch up black on the hand. Oh, I'm touching the rim. That's fine. And then this glove here. Sorry, blowing into the mini here, trying to make sure. Okay, cool. How's that glove looking? Glove's looking alright. I did get a little bit of the gunmetal on the chest piece. Come on, focus. There you go. Looks like I hit this too. Don't know how I did that. Looks like I hit that whole leg. Must have moved the brush down there. But hand's good. I do need to touch green on the leg here and on chest in there. I mean, I could leave it, but it just looks maybe like battle damage. But we don't have none of the other minis are battle damage. I'm not gonna stay consistent as we can. I keep knocking over the elite. Let's try it off camera. Green. That's what I said. Green here. It does make me kind of want to do battle damage after seeing that though. And green here. Boom. How's that rim look where I touched it? Looks fine. Okay. Everything else looks good. That's gunmetal. Is that a gunmetal? That's gunmetal. It's kind of bright, but Cool. The lighting? Oh, I know what happened. Cool. Yeah. There we go. Go to reference. So the gun being it's like a black. Yeah, it looks good. I think it reads. This guy was our other guy with a human gun. We did the gunmetal. I like it. Looks good. So again, I'll varnish them off camera. But yeah, that one was quick and easy. Let's check out our Elite. He's mostly dry. The varnish takes about 24 hours to dry, they say, or to cure. But it's safe to touch. It's just not cured yet. But yeah, so there was our Elite. There's our Spartan Brawler. That sword came out pretty good, dry. So definitely enjoyed that one. But all right, yeah, we'll get another one of these going as soon as we can. Thanks for hanging out.